Hello everyone, so this is the recap video for the UEFA Euro 2004 tournament that we did on an online network game. So yeah, you can see on your screen now, they're the 16 players that took part. We managed to get the full house, 16 this time. The database we were using was the Lussenhof database, but the enhanced version, which is basically Lussenhof's data update with various players added and things that were missed before he went AWOL from the forum, and that was contributed by myself and a couple of others. So yeah, we used that data update. What we did was holiday 3 seasons on from the 01-02 season, got to the tournament, and went with the draw as it was. Obviously it would be different to how the real life Euro 2004 tournament was, a different draw and different teams qualifying, and then each of us were given one of those 16 teams, meaning there was no AI taking part. So it had its flaws, it had its ups, it had its downs, but it's expected with a over 20-year-old game on an old server, but it went as well as it could do. And yeah, this was played out on Sunday the 8th of December. We got all the way to the final in just under 3 hours. Unfortunately, due to a bit of a misunderstanding, a couple of people went off thinking that their opponent had gone off. We had to call a halt there, and we played out the final the next day on the Monday, the 9th of December 2024. So without further ado, let's show you how the tournament went. So this was Group 1, Portugal, Sweden, Russia and Croatia, and as you can see, Portugal, our winners from the last tournament we did, you might have seen the recap videos for them. We did the FIFA World Cup 2002 tournament, and we did that on the original database, and Stuart Danton won that with Portugal. Obviously this time Stuart was managing Sweden, Will Taylor, new to the network game, was managing Portugal, myself Russia, and Wayne Chester Croatia. And as expected, Portugal won the group. Sweden took second with just 3 draws, so that shows how close it was really. So Sweden got out of that group with 3 draws. Myself coming third, gave a good account of myself, I think, considering only losing, as you'll see in a minute, 1-0 to Portugal, and then getting 2 other draws against the other fellas, and then Wayne as well, who got 2 draws, but unfortunately got sunk to the bottom with that 5-1 defeat to Portugal. So let's have a look. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think what happened, obviously Portugal-Croatia was the opening game, and I believe Will, who was managing Portugal, got booted out before the game was played, I think. So I might be right in thinking that the AI set up his team for him, tactic wise. So nonetheless, he got the 5-1 victory, which you'll see now. Ronaldo getting 2 goals. They were the stats. That was the setup. And Wayne set up as follows. Yeah, heavy defeat for Wayne in that first one. Ronaldo setting the tournament alight from the get-go, and I mean on the Lussenhof, if you don't know already, look at this guy, a beast. And I mean, he was a beast in real life, wasn't he? So, and still is, in fairness. So yeah, he's a monster of a player. When you've got him, you've always got a chance of going far. So that's how we opened up. Then it was me versus Stuart Danton in the next game. My keeper getting man of the match, so it shows that I was quite fortunate really, took the lead. But yeah, I would take that all day long, that 1-1 draw from the beginning. That's how I was setting up. This is how Stuart set up. You then had Sweden and Portugal playing out a 0-0 draw. And by this point, obviously, Will was back in the game, taking control. Pretty close game, if I'm honest. Stuart changed up a bit there in his tactics. And that's Will's setup, which is obviously a lot different to the one before. There we go. Croatia, Russia, another 0-0, one that I was involved in. Again, a defender getting, well, it was the keeper last time, now a defender. The stats would show I probably had the better of the game, if I'm honest. Although it was quite close, really, possession-wise. I had more shots, but Croatia had more on target. That's how Wayne set up. And nothing changed really from my perspective. I went with that tactic again and got another draw out of it. So it come down to the final games. Obviously, Portugal narrowly beating me by 1-0. A lot of players playing quite well there from both sides. It was quite fairly close, really, if you look at the stats. You know, I gave a good account of myself, that's for sure. And Ronaldo, the beast that he is, winning the game. I think Will changed up a bit there, slightly. Obviously nothing changed from me. And then to finish us off, Croatia and Sweden. 1-1 draw. A lot of draws in this group. There we go. So that was Group 1. There you have it. Portugal and Sweden advancing to the quarterfinals. Group 2. Look at that. How about that for a shock? Two big boys in Germany and Spain being eliminated to the two underdogs in Denmark and Belgium. I mean, you've got to take your hats off to Denmark there. 3 wins out of 3. Fantastic stuff. So Denmark managed by Jesper Ronman. Belgium managed by Anthony Brown, who came in at the very last minute. They were originally meant to be managed by Chris Henson, but I think Chris was ill, couldn't make it, so therefore relinquished his spot to a last minute replacement in Anthony Brown, who would be pleased to get out of that group. Germany, you had Chris Thomas, and Spain, you had last time round's World Cup runner-up Michael Godfrey, who was managing Italy that time. So this is how it went out. Spain and Germany playing out a 1-1 draw from the get-go. Close game. That was a set-up from Michael. I'll get through it a little bit quicker now. That was Chris's set-up. Not really seen that before, that formation. So that was that. We then had Denmark beating Belgium 2-0. That was Jesper's setup. Very impressive to take 3 points in every game out of that group. And that was Anthony's setup there. Then obviously Denmark beating Germany in a shock. Nothing changed there from Chris. He went with what he went with before in terms of shape. Jesper. Belgium beating Spain in the other shock there. Red card wouldn't have helped, no doubt. Probably had the better, well, did have the better of the game judging by the stats, but fair play to Belgium getting out of that with a victory. And they'll be disappointed, Spain and Germany, that's for sure, with the quality of players on show. Then the last games, Belgium and Germany 1-1. And to end the group, Denmark beating Spain as well to eliminate them. Fantastic stuff from Jesper there. And very fitting as well, because Jesper is actually Danish by birth, so he's a Dane himself. So he's definitely done his country justice there, getting them out of the group stages in a group that they probably would have been not expected to get through. Looks like Michael changed up a bit there. Obviously didn't work for him. And there we go. Big shocks there. Group 3. France, England, Norway and Czech Republic. So the Czech will be disappointed they didn't get a point on the board there. But yeah, France and England going through as expected. They played out a 1-1 draw from the get-go there. That's France's tactic. And England's tactic there. Quite a strange tactic with Rooney playing out on the left side there of the attack and Rooney just through the central. Not really seen that before. Quite a funky one, but yeah, they played out a 1-1 draw. Then you had Norway winning 1-0. A shock there really. And that was Matty Hughes getting a pretty massive shock victory there, because you'd think Czech, with the players they got, I mean Nedved, Koller, Rosicky, Czech, some good players there, you'd expect them to have beat Norway, but they didn't. Got a shock loss there. France beating the Czech, and I think that all but eliminated the Czech then. Dominating victory there really, wasn't it, for the French? England just narrowly beating Norway there, 1-0. Again, went with the same tactic. And to conclude the group, France beating Norway to send them packing. Respectable tournament for Norway to even get a victory in that group, to be honest with you. Changed up a bit there from Matty. He went for it. Fair play. Then England sending the Czech home without a point on the board. So Group 3 there, France and England going through as expected. Last group, Group 4. Look at that. Holland and Poland getting through. Well, you'd expect Holland to get through, but you'd also expect Italy to get through, and Italy come crashing out there. And Mike, who was hosting the game for us, be disappointed with that, to be going out. And I know he wasn't disappointed. Felt a bit aggrieved, I think, because he dominated a couple of the games, I think. But yeah, unfortunately got eliminated with just the 2 points. So Holland beating Italy in that first game in a clash of the heavyweights. That was Mike's setup. Go back to the stats. It was close game. Poland beating Finland 3-1 there. Close, judging by the stats, that one. But what was interesting here was Adnan Kuzic, who managed Poland in the World Cup 2002 tournament, actually got drawn them again. So he had a second bite at the cherry with Poland in the Euros this time. So they were the two shocks in the draw. The fact that Jesper got his home nation, being the only Dane in the group, he got to manage Denmark, and then Adnan obviously getting Poland, who he got in the World Cup tournament. So yeah, interesting. Italy 1, Poland 1, a shock result there. Then you had Finland getting a bit of a roasting from Holland as expected. 27 shots to 3. Wow, that was a bit of a kick in there, wasn't it? Looks like he might have been inviting a lot of pressure there with a defensive tactic, but I mean, what else do you expect Finland to do, really? Yeah, so a bit of a smash in there. Surprised it wasn't more. Then Finland and Italy drawing 1-1. That was a shock, and I know that would have annoyed Mike, because he looked like he dominated the game there. But yeah, a 90th minute winner as well. Wow. Sorry, not winner, 90th minute equaliser, which sent him packing. Yeah. There we go. So one of the favourites getting knocked out in the group stages. And then, have I looked at all the games here? I believe I have. I went through that one, didn't I? I went through that one. Sorry, I'm just checking. Finland, Italy, I've just looked at. And then Poland and Holland is the last one I've looked at. Taking Holland through as group winners, but Poland had already made it through, I think. There we go. So that's the group stages. So let's take you through it again. Group 1, Portugal and Sweden. Group 2, Denmark, Belgium. Group 3, France and England. Group 4, Holland and Poland. Quarter-final time. They were our quarter-finals, how they went. So we had a bit of a Nordic derby there. A Viking derby, something like that. Denmark v Sweden. So Jesper Ronman's fantastic route to the quarterfinal came to a grinding end there to their neighbours Sweden, 2-1. Close game, judging by the stats, pretty close game. Yeah, Sweden knocking them out there. There we go. Denmark fought at the quarter-final stage, and Stuart Danton was rolling on to try and claim that Euros crown to go with his World Cup crown. France ending Poland's tournament there. A 2-0 victory. Very routine. Battered them really, didn't they? Not really a contest there, but I'm sure Adnan will be happy with getting his poles to the knockouts for the second tournament running. There we go. Portugal beating Belgium 3-1. Ronaldo in amongst the goals again. It's close though. Look at the stats. Very, very close that was. Wow, very close game. And I think it's just the firepower of Portugal in the end that got them over the line. Belgium will be gutted. But respective tournament for them. Respected, I should say. And then Holland and England, penalties. Of course, England going out on penalties. Despite Holland having 2 red cards. They'll be gutted, England there to have fell. But penalties is penalties. It was close. Went all the way, obviously. The mighty Steven Gerrard scoring. And Rooney missing the result in penalty. And Rooney's a beast on this version of the database, as you can see from his stats. He's a beast on the Lussenhof. But yeah, missed the penalty, which obviously sent Holland through to the semi-final stage. I don't know if I looked at the tactics, did I? There we go. That's the quarterfinals. Semi-finals. Look at that. Stuart Danton's Sweden losing to Johnny McGraw's France 2-0. Djibril Cissé, 2 goals. It was pretty routine there for Johnny, wasn't it? And France. Stuart, unfortunately, couldn't add the Euros crown to his World Cup crown. And in all fairness, very well done to have got Sweden to the semis. Sweden have got some good players, especially on this database. Ibra, Himovic, Lundberg and the like. You've only got to look at Ibra there, beast. So some really good players there. So they got a good squad, but all the same, he's gone out to a very strong France squad, Stuart. So I think he can be happy with his tournament there. That was that. France first team in the final, and then Portugal beating Holland in extra time there. And it was close. Look at the stats. So close. Almost identical. And Conceição scoring in extra time to take Portugal through to the final to meet France. So, the final, how did it go? Well, that's how it went. Johnny McGraw steers his France team to glory, Euro 2004 glory, gets his name etched on the roll of honour. Unlucky to Will Taylor and his Portugal team. Great effort from him in his first tournament. But yeah, Johnny getting France over the line in a pretty emphatic style, winning 3-0 there. This is how it went. Dugarry with 2 goals. Cissé getting another goal. Djibril Cissé. And yeah, Ronaldo didn't really turn up for this one when you needed him most. Nuno Gomez with a 4. Few players letting Will down there, I think, on the big stage, I should say. Yeah, well deserved there by Johnny, really, looking at the stats. And France, pretty one-sided, wasn't it? Them 2 early goals as well. I mean, 3 first half goals. That's going to always be a mountain to come back on, isn't it? And yeah, Johnny not really changing much, sticking to his guns, get him over the line. Will going with what he went with before, I believe. And that was that. Yeah, congratulations to Johnny. Good stuff from him to take France to glory there. That was how the tournament went. So let's have a look at player stats. So Ronaldo, naturally best player of the tournament, judging by this. Goals, Cissé and Ronaldo share the golden boot there. Van Nistelrooy and Michael in 3rd and 4th. So Finland conceding the most, which is no surprise really, being that they were the weakest team in the tournament. Arguably. Penalties, not so many penalties in the tournament. Assists, Ronaldo winning that, Rooney with 2. Team goals, team conceded. Games won, obviously France would be there. Games lost, check. Yellow cards, Edgar Davids picking up 3. Red cards, Edgar Davids, Decor, Paul, don't know how to pronounce that, but Carew and Sebria. Man of the matches, Vieira getting 3, Ronaldo getting 3. pass completion. This guy from Denmark. Tackles Alexi Smertin, so I did win something. Dribbles, this guy from Belgium. Shots on target, Jari Litmanen. And average rating, as we looked at already, Ronaldo getting the highest there. Obviously France etching their name. If you look at it here, they win back-to-back Euros. So yeah, interesting tournament. Was a success, and that's how it went. Thank you for watching, and hopefully there'll be many more of these down the line going forward. Until then, see you later.